welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our brand new set, Screen Time, and its coordinating dies. So let's go ahead and check it out. We have two adorable little people in this set, and I just love her curly hair. It's so cute. We also have either a computer screen or a TV screen, and we've got these little items that they can hold. So we have a bag of chips, a little soda, a phone, we have some pizza, we have a bowl of popcorn, and we have a video game controller. We also have a video game console system. We have a cute little heart. And then we have all of these wires that you can use to connect the TV to the video game console and the console to the different controllers. So you can kind of mix and match them to get a fun look of all these little tangled wires. We have some really fun sentiments. We have Will You Be My Player Too? You've leveled up. It's your B-Day. Life is better when we binge watch together, which is my favorite. And then we have all of these little text bubbles. So we have a little text to say, and then we have happy birthday, thank you, I love you, I miss you, you are the best, congrats. And then we have some little reply bubbles. So we have a question mark, and then a heart, and then a little smiley face. Next up, we're going to use our Copic markers to add some color to these fun images. And I have a lot of fun coloring people like people that I know. So I'll kind of think of someone in particular, and I'll think of their hair and their skin color and try to match that with my markers. And that's so much fun to do, especially to personalize a card for someone. Now, I just love the theme of this set with both the video game and kind of the TV theme we have going on. I have so many friends that I know that love playing video games, so this set will be perfect for making birthday cards for them. And then I also love the binge watching theme because I love to binge watch TV shows. I don't know about you guys, but I have a couple of shows I can always watch over and over again, and those shows are definitely Friends and Gilmore Girls. So I would love to hear about what shows that you guys like to binge watch. Now, when it comes to coloring in these little characters, I love that you can have a lot of fun with their clothes and kind of make their clothes match whatever pattern paper or cardstock that you might be using for your card. Then here I'm going to be coloring all of these little items here. Now you can die cut these items and have them hold the die cuts, or you can actually stamp these items onto the characters directly as well, and both look really, really cute. Now here you'll see that I'm coloring in the popcorn and the pizza and all of those little items, and then now I'm going to be working on the TV screen, and so I'm using some neutral grays for that, and I really like the neutral grays for things like TV screens or kind of sort of metallic type things like this. I just think it looks really, really nice. And then we'll be coloring in the console the same way, but I like having fun with the little video game that's in there. You can kind of change that color to match what your whole card is going to look like, and in this case I'm going to do a really fun bright blue. These are the coordinating dies for this set, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate them. I'm going to take them and line them up with my stamped images, hold them in place with some low-tack tape, run them through my die cut machine, and then I'm going to have these totally adorable cut out images. And I just love those little kids so much. They're just so sweet. So here you can see how you can kind of layer the different text bubbles, and you can have that work with them holding the phone. And then here's how it looks when you have all of those wires going from the controllers to the TV and to the system console. And then here they are holding some of their snacks. Here I'm using some really rainbow paper in both the 12x12 and the 6x6. I'm going to use one of my stitched scalloped rectangle frames to die cut the 6x6 paper, and then I'm going to trim down the 12x12 paper to be 4¼ inches by 5½. I'm also going to take out some Watercolor Wishes paper and some knock on wood paper, and that paper is going to be my ground. I'm creating a standard size card base at 5½ by 4¼ inches. I'm going to add some adhesive on there and then layer that fun rainbow stripe paper. I'm going to be trimming down my pieces to 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 for the background piece, and then 2 7/8 by 2 1/4 for the ground. And then I can layer those two pieces on each other, and then add my frame onto that. Then I'm going to take out all of my little stamped and die cut images and start layering them onto this card. And in this case, I'm going to be creating kind of a TV watching card. So I'm stamping the little heart from the set onto the TV there. I just thought that would be really cute in some lobster ink. And then I'm going to give the characters their little things to hold. So she's going to hold a bag of chips, and he's going to hold a soda, and then we're going to have a little thing of popcorn on the side. And then we're going to layer these two together, and I'm going to kind of layer them kind of overlapping a little bit so it looks like they're watching a movie together. And then I'll add some foam tape onto my TV and layer that as well, and then give him a little bowl of popcorn next to him. Then I'll add a bunch of foam tape to the back of my whole scene and layer that onto the card. Then I'm going to stamp the Life is Better When We Binge Watch Together onto my piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to use a sentiment banner there to line up with that nice long sentiment, and we're going to hold that in place with some tape, run it through our die cut machine, and then die cut this really fun little sentiment banner. I'll add some adhesive to that banner, and now my card is done, and it's so cute. I just love the sentiment, and I just love this card. Now here I wanted to show you the card on the right. It's another version that I made where I didn't overlap the characters, but what I did was I actually stamped those images directly onto them instead of die cutting them. And honestly, I kind of like that look better, but I think they're both really cute. So you could stamp them directly, or you can die cut them and layer them, whatever works best for you. I decided to continue on with my really rainbow theme for these cards since I already had my paper out. So I am cutting a piece of paper to 5.5 by 4.25 and a card base to the same, and I'm going to layer those two pieces together. I'm also going to take some more really rainbow paper and die cut it with the largest of the outside in stitched rectangles, and then I can layer that piece on top as well. And today I am recreating this gorgeous card by Lynette, so thank you so much, Lynette, for letting me recreate this for the video. Now here you'll see I'm going to have that piece layered on there, and then now I'm going to look through my really rainbow paper and find some more papers to go along with this. So I've got that beautiful red stripe, and I'm going to be using my outside in Stitch Star Stackables and my Stitch Star frames. So in this case I'm going to use the red frame there, and then I'm going to be die cutting some more paper. So this fun kind of rainbow gradient from the really rainbow with my outside in Stitch Star, and I'm also going to die cut some paper from Perfectly Plaid as well. I'm going to use the yellow from that and die cut that with the same size star. Now I'm going to layer my frame and my star and kind of make a little mark as to where I want my ground to be, because that yellow plaid is going to be the ground of my star. So I'm going to add some adhesive to that, layer it onto my kind of rainbow gradient star there, and then we can layer the frame on top of that. Once all of my pieces are layered, I have stamped and colored and die cut a bunch of images from the set, and in this case we're going to create a video game themed card. So there I've got my little characters, and I've got my console and some wires and some video game controllers. And in this case what I'm going to do is layer the wires onto the people first, and then I'm going to layer my controller on top of that. And this is a case where I actually prefer to use the die cuts instead of stamping directly, because I think it looks really nice with the die cut wires and the die cut controller. Now I'm going to add my two little characters there on with some foam tape, and then add some foam tape onto my console, and that's going to layer over those wires, and the wires are going to look like it's coming from the console, and I think it just looks like so much fun. Now here I've used my really rainbow paper again, and I'm cutting some white from the smallest outside in Stitch Star Stackable, and those are going to layer onto my card. Now next up we're going to do some heat embossing. So I'm stamping in some nice sticky Versamark ink, and I'm going to use my white heat embossing powder. I'm going to sprinkle that on. It's going to stick to the ink that we stamped with, and then we'll use our heat tool to heat it up and get that nice shiny bright white sentiment. I'm going to use a sentiment banner to cut that out, and then I can go ahead and layer that onto my card. Once I've layered that sentiment banner there onto the star, I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my star and layer that onto the card. Then I can also adhere with some tape runner those yellow stars. Now the Stitch Star frames have these cute little kind of star confetti dies in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Watercolor Wishes pad, and I'm going to die cut those tiny little confetti stars from the Watercolor Wishes. And then we're going to layer those stars onto the card. I'm going to use my jewel picker, which is one of my favorite new tools, to pick up all of these tiny little pieces and kind of place them around the card where I think it might look nice. Once I have that placement there, I'm going to pick up the little star with the jewel picker, add a little glue with my glue tube on the back, and then attach it right back onto the card, just like that. And I'll repeat that with all of my stars so that they're all glued down, and it looks like this beautiful kind of star confetti that I feel like really goes along with the whole video game theme. I'm adding a little sparkle to the stars with my Wink of Stella glitter pen, and then now you can see just how cute this card is. It just makes me smile. Oh my goodness. For the next card, I'm going to be using my itsy bitsy polka dot backdrop, and I'm going to be die cutting that from some white cardstock. I've also trimmed down a piece of mermaid cardstock to be the same size at 5.5 by 4.25 inches, and I'm going to add some glue to the back of that whole polka dot backdrop and layer that on top so I have a white background with really pretty turquoise polka dots. I'm trimming down a piece of really rainbow paper to be about 1/4 inch and then some black cardstock to be about 5/16. And I'm going to layer these two pieces together so that there's this nice little tiny 16th inch border of black cardstock. And then we're going to layer that whole thing along the bottom. And today I'm recreating a gorgeous card by Kay. So thank you so much, Kay, for letting me recreate this for the video. Now here I have a stitch circle and I'm going to kind of line that up in the middle and a little bit down from the top, hold it in place with some tape, run it through my die cut machine, and cut a hole in the center of my card. Here I'm going to be creating a card base that matches at 5.5 by 4.25. I'll add some adhesive to the back of that whole thing and layer that onto the card base. I'm going to take that same size stitch rectangle that we cut the hole with and I'm going to cut some really rainbow paper in both that kind of gradient and that fun stripe. Now here I'm going to make a little tick mark at about how high up I want my ground for my little kids to sit on is going to be, and I'm going to trim that piece down. Then I'm going to layer my little gradient piece to be my sky, and then I've got my little rainbow stripe to be my ground. Next, we're going to take out those texting speech bubbles that we die cut earlier, and we're going to layer those onto the card. We're going to use the You Are the Best one, but I love that you could change it up depending on what card you needed. I'm going to layer some little phones in their hands and then add some little foam tape on the back of them and layer them onto the card and then give them some little treats on the side as well. I'll add some foam tape to those little text bubbles, and I'm going to kind of layer those over the circle and into the card, just kind of seeing how I think they look best. Once I put that little heart one on there, I decided to shift the top one in a little bit just to kind of make everything fill the space better. And then that is my card. It's so cute and it just makes me smile. And then here is the 3 cards that we created today. I had fun using kind of like a rainbow theme for all of these cards, and it was really awesome to create a video game themed one, a texting themed one, and a TV watching themed one. Now we have some incredible cards by the design team. First up, we have Elise, and I love how she used the same card design to create a TV themed one and then a video game themed one. This card by Letitia is so cute. I love her polka dot background so much. I love Elena's texting theme card. Those colors are just gorgeous. And then here is the card by Kay that inspired me to make mine today. It's just so sweet and I love those bright rainbow colors. Shari created a really awesome Chibi-tronics card. Oh my goodness, it's just so cool how the TV screen lights up. And then here I love how Audrey created a glow by masking off and doing some creative inking with some yellow ink. And I love how Lizzie used our Selfie Frames cell phone shaped die to create a really awesome clean and simple card with those text bubbles. And then I love this card by Nicole and her fun custom sentiment. And then this is the card by Lynette that inspired me to make mine today. So I cannot wait to see what awesome screen time cards you guys create, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!